Bitcoin's price structure is pretty clear, in my opinion, and it's a very important idea to always recap it and stay up to date and remind ourselves exactly what we are looking at when it comes to Bitcoin. Now, we all know that there is a lot of hype due to inflows, which, of course, we're seeing a lot of inflows across the board on a lot of different stocks and markets, S&P, Nasdaq, due to anticipated positive progressions in tariffs, right? So what we want to remind ourselves is within all this hype, within a lot of this potential FOMO, we want to stay realistic with the price structure, how healthy it is, any warning signs, and this way we can be better set up to take advantage of any future opportunities to long or short, right? So to get started, let's just go ahead and understand the bigger picture on Bitcoin. What really is going on with Bitcoin, right? So I remember last year, and I've documented this too. Last year we had three deep value dips. At this point, it was a price falling below, like 55K. And we kept tracking this until we had a very clear start of a bullish uptrend, bringing us up to new highs, which was the first time Bitcoin reached over 100K. Now, what we're seeing is quite similar to this, where it dipped into the purple and then it started having a break of structure when it comes to higher highs and higher lows from consistent lower lows and lower highs, right? What we're seeing right now is we have deep value Bitcoin, three dips below it, below 80K, right? So we have three dips below 80K, and now we have this push up that is breaking previous resistances, right? So we have resistances that are being broken very clearly, and we're pretty much well set up to start a higher low, a very clear higher low, with a significant retracement, and then form another higher high, confirming that this is actually sustainable, and instead of it just being like a massive fake out, right? We saw that here where the price, for the first time when it made a new higher high after this very long-term like downtrend, multi-month downtrend, we saw it break previous resistances, and then it started, it had a proper retracement. At this point, this level right here, as you can see in the orange or yellowish lines, we were constantly keeping track of a proper retracement because we had these smaller higher highs and higher lows forming without a significant retracement, a healthy one. We ended up consolidating right here before we had one last leg up, and then we had that proper retracement to come down and fill in the support area. What we're seeing right now is something very similar, where we're breaking past previous resistances, we're pushing up higher, we're starting to see this consolidation phase after smaller, higher lows and higher highs, where we're starting to potentially be in the start of one last push up before we come down and have a retracement. In this case, though, I will be tracking the price higher as it tries to have that last leg up, most likely somewhere between 97.5 to roughly 99K. This gap right here, I wouldn't be surprised if it's filled soon, but we need to keep an eye on the proper retracement, which is this red area. And again, this area will be modified as the price trends higher into that gap. So we want to be prepared to take advantage of this, because once the price really starts to max out in the short term and it has that healthy correction, which will back up the higher high and higher low structure, that will help us get back up to 100K and much more, we need to see that proper retracement happen, so we know that the price is sustaining a lot of these long positions and bulls where they can push us up much higher. So I'm not like bearish on Bitcoin. I'm actually quite bullish. If you guys know, I do believe the price will go much higher. The thing is, though, we're in the beginning stages of starting to finally go up to these premium prices we've seen previously over 100K. And in order to get up there healthy and in a realistic manner, we want to see a proper retracement. The last proper retracement we had was right here, where we came up, we filled in this imbalance. Also, this area, as you can see, from the push up to where it maxed out, proper retracement, right? What we're seeing now is that from this overall move up, we still haven't had a proper retracement. Not even when we were here, or even any of these prices. You can see none of it had a proper retracement. So it's just not super healthy to be overly optimistic and maybe over leveraging yourself with a lot of long positions when the price is overextended short term, and a proper retracement can happen at any moment. So what we're looking at is for the price to start filling in these support areas. Ideally, we have this consolidation area right here, which can act as future supports, but we also have a lot of imbalances like right here and right here that haven't been filled yet. So I would like to see Bitcoin not just reach, low 90Ks again, or not just low 90Ks, but like actually, 90 to 91K, but ideally break below 90K and then find support within the red will be most ideal, and will be a much, much better setup to take advantage of longs, more aggressively before we finally start pushing up higher. But the thing is, just like we saw in 2024, I wouldn't be surprised if it happens again, because of course history does not have to repeat itself perfectly, or at all. But we do know that if we have, just like back here, we had enough momentum to, and I documented this when it happened, we had enough momentum to reach the green. So I said I wouldn't be surprised if we try to hold support within the blue and then push up higher into the green. And that's exactly what we did. We pushed up a little bit higher into the green. We're holding the discounted portion of this green enough to where I wouldn't be surprised if it comes up and tries to reach the medium area before it finally tops out and has that proper retracement. So I see two pathways, right? We can either see the price finally start breaking down now, or after the last, one more leg up, then we can see the price come down. So both scenarios lead to the same outcome. So I am short-term bearish on Bitcoin because I'm trying to keep things realistic, and just going off of what the structures are telling us. And we have a lot of evidence that a retracement is either about to start or is starting, because we have a lot of imbalances that haven't been filled with an overextended price in the short term, and we have retracement areas that have not been properly filled at all for a while, since like halfway through the month. So it's just very realistic to know that, hey, we can see a somewhat of a significant correction happen before we can start moving up higher. In this case, ideally below 90K, and try to find support somewhere around, like 82 to like 88K in this red area right here. So that's exactly what I'm going to be waiting for. I am taking small long positions to take advantage of a higher, one more leg up, to try to profit off of that. Although if it begins to break down, of course, small positions, I'm not going to be hurt too much by it, and then it will give me a chance to have more capital set aside to take advantage of my ideal, long accumulation area down here. So we're starting the first stage of this. Of course, we need to see a healthy correction before we can go up higher. We need to keep things realistic. And it looks like a low is most likely in, due to a lot of these structures being broken and price pushing up higher. So yeah, I'll keep you guys updated on what the price looks like. I'll keep up you guys updated on whether or not my expectation of a correction, short-term little correction before we pump up higher, becomes valid or invalid. But yeah, guys, that's just my opinion on Bitcoin for the moment, and I'll keep you guys updated. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.